We're going to show you how to record sound in these recording rooms here. We're going to double click on GarageBand. And we're going to select New Music Project. And this is where you want to put your name in here. Your name. It's going to say .band. We're going to save that to the desktop. So make sure that desktop is selected and hit create. Next thing you want to do is you want to shut this piano. So that if you come up here to the left top part of the piano and hit this red dot, it's going to close the piano. The next thing we want to do is come up here to control. We've got file, edit, track, control, share, window, and help. Come up here to control, select metronome. We want to shut that off so that the little check mark isn't next to it. So if we select metronome, goes off, come up here, make sure that it's off. Control metronome is not selected. The next thing we're going to go to is called track. Go to track and we're going to select new track. And we're going to select real instrument. The soundboard that we have the microphone going into, we consider a real instrument. So select real instrument, select create, and it's going to make a new track right here that says no effects. We want to come down here to vocals, select vocals, and no effects. There are a whole bunch of different filters that you can put onto your audio. Once you have it completely recorded, you can put in some reverb to make it sound like it's in a bigger room. Just some different effects. You can play around with that once you have your voiceover recorded. The next step for recording sound is on the top of the Mackie board right here. There's two buttons. There's a power button that turns the box on. Then you also have to give this thing phantom power. So we're going to click this one on. So there's two buttons here right by the power cord. Those have to be both in the on position. Put the soundboard back down. Next thing we're going to do is trace where the microphone is being plugged into. This is our microphone right here. Find out where this XLR cable is going into. It's going into input number 2. This one's input number 2 right here. So we're going to adjust the audio right here. And if we're looking at our computer screen, you can kind of see that there's some VU meters moving up and down. All right. So when you talk into your microphone right here, you want to make sure that your audio levels are reaching not in the red, kind of just underneath the red, so that we're kind of getting a good sound representation of your voice for your voiceovers. You'll stand in front of the microphone about 2 to 3 inches away from the microphone, something like probably this. All right, so talking into your microphone, reading your script. You'll be recording that into the computer. To record your voice into the computer, come over to the computer. Down here on the bottom, there's a red record button. It says start or stop recording. If we click that button down, now we are recording sound. You can see the sound being recorded on your VU meters as I keep talking. The VU meters and the waveforms are being recorded here. Once I'm done recording, I can come down here to the red record button and hit stop. This thing will keep going until you hit the space bar. Space bar will stop it. Use your mouse to go back here a little bit. We're going to come back here to the beginning, and if you hit play from the beginning, you'll be able to hear what we just recorded. Now we are recording sound. Okay, so that's what we just recorded. In order to hear your sound, the speaker that is associated with this computer is down here. This speaker right here. If you cannot hear the sound, you can use this remote to turn up or to turn down the speaker. If the speaker is off, the speaker must be turned on. If looking at the back of the speaker, if you do not see a light on at the front, in the back of the speaker is a power button right here. Make sure that your composite cables are plugged in also in the back. Coming back up to our sound. When we are happy with our sound recording up here, the next step is to go to share. So we're going to go to share and send song to iTunes. We're going to select that. It's going to mix down our audio that we just recorded. and it's going to load it into iTunes. iTunes is loading automatically.
Now we are recording sound.
It will start playing back your sound that you just recorded. It will also have your name up here. Okay, so the next thing I want you to do is kind of move this out of the way, and we're going to activate GarageBand again. We're going to come up to GarageBand. We're going to hide GarageBand so that we can see our flash drive that we're going to put into the computer. So we want to be able to see the desktop and iTunes. This little flash drive right here, you can get one of these or get it from me. We're going to put this into the back of the computer right here. Put that into the back of the computer. It will show up on the desktop once the computer reads it. The drive that we just put into the computer shows up on the desktop. This one is saved as Touchy. And your voiceover was named as your name. What you want to do next is we want to drag and drop this file onto this flash drive. You kind of have to give it a couple minutes here just to make sure that it goes on there. One thing that I also do is I'll double click this flash drive, and I will make sure that that file is on there, yourname.aif. Another thing that I'll do is on the keyboard itself, I will hit the button that says Control, and I also will take my mouse and I'll left click and I'll select Get Info. This will load the actual file into a preview window, and if I click play, I should hear the sound coming off the flash drive.
Button down. Now we are recording sound. You can see the sound being recorded.
Okay, so now I know my sound is on there. I can close this. I can close this with those red X's or red zeros. And the last step is to click and drag your flash drive from the desktop down, down, down till you get an arrow on the far right side that says eject, and we let go. Once it disappears from the desktop, you can remove it from the back of the computer.